Hi folks, welcome back to the next video in the series of putting together my virtual race car. Today we're going to look at a couple of cool things. The heart of the rig, well, the kind of main bit if you like, the wheelbase itself, and something you can just see over my shoulder there, the steering wheel, and a couple of little things to join them together as well. A little bit of a change of plan from my original idea of going with the proper formula layout. It's still a formula setup with the raised feet and everything you've seen so far in the video, but the steering wheel I had my eye on, the proper F1 steering wheel with the display and all the kind of cool gadgets and stuff on it, is out of stock everywhere and you can't find it for love nor money. So decided to go with a GT steering wheel for the rig to start with, but yeah, we'll get into that later on. So yeah, let's dive in and have a look. So first of all, we're talking about, and I'll show you how I've installed the Simucube 2 Ultimate wheelbase. This thing is an absolute beast. So here it is, just poking out of the mounts on the chassis. Yeah, as I say, it is an absolute beast. I'll take you over the back to have a look down at how we've mounted it. If you can see, again, it's quite dark in here. The whole black colour scheme doesn't really lend itself well to video, but yeah, it's huge. Here's the bolts at the front, all the way right to the back there. What I have noticed it does, as you can see, it looks quite close to the pedals, but it's difficult to tell from this angle, but the height wise your foot doesn't interfere with it, so it's fine. The top of the pedal does just touch the bottom of the wheelbase here if you crank it all the way forward, but I'll never have the sliders all the way forward for myself, so that shouldn't be an issue. And just need to remember if I'm adjusting it for someone else to make sure they're forward so that they don't have to pull that too far back. But yeah, big heavy thing. I had to get Karen to help me mount it in the rig. Again, you guys know already how these things are mounted. It's just front mounted with 4 bolts, which you can just about see there. The 2 at the bottom and the 2 at the top. No, you can't see the top ones. Anyway, so yeah, that's in place. Not much to say about it because I've not tried it yet, but yeah, you can certainly see where your money's going when you get it in the box and take it out, and wow, what a weight of a thing. So that should be pretty cool. Onto that is going to go, before we get to the steering wheel itself, my extended steering column here. So this long section is the SimLab, I don't know what it's called, hub extension or something. Anyways, it's basically a steering column extension, and that's going to bolt straight to the Simucube on the front face here. I'm just waiting for the adapter plate to replace the Simucube plate. I think Cube Controls do an adapter piece that allows you to bolt straight to a 70 PCD pattern, which this is. The back of here. On this end I've bolted on, we're going with the Cube Controls QRX, is it called? Quick release system. So it should be that way up. Obviously you get lots of different quick releases in sim racing, and you know, there's lots of different ones out there with different reviews, and everyone seems, you know, there's what is it, the clamped ones, they seem to be very popular, where you kind of put a clamp over the top to close it, but I really like the, I'll put it down, I really like the idea of a quick release, much like in the real world that I'm used to, where you pull on a ring to release and it pops off. So that's what this does. The added advantage of this is that I'm going to be using Cube Controls wheels, I think, for most of my wheels anyway, or certainly the one I've got just now. And this kind of basically turns the wired wheel into a wireless wheel, because it passes the electronic signal through the quick release itself. And then you plug your wired section in here, which means when you take the wheel off, you don't have to unplug anything, so that makes it a bit more user friendly as well. So yeah, so that's going on onto the Simucube, and then I've got to hold the camera and move around at the same time here, should have thought about this. We have this beauty. It's the Cube Controls GT Pro Zero, and you know, I've watched reviews on this and seen videos of this, and yeah, I can't put into words how awesome it is in real life. This is by far the fanciest steering wheel I've ever owned in any car. It just looks like it came out of Racecar. I mean, you can watch as many videos online as you like, but until you actually get it in your hand and feel it, it just, yeah, as I say, it looks like it's something out of a real race car. I've never had magnetic shifters before on any wheels, so they're just amazing. That's the quick release on the back there, as I say, bolted to it. And you can see the wee ring where you pull, you put it down, you pull on that ring. It's difficult to do with one hand, but you pull on that ring and it slides on and off. I've not buttoned it up yet with stickers or anything, but yeah, I'll get down to that once we get things piled in. But yeah, all the controls and everything on there just look fantastic, and they're such a joy to use. So yeah, looking forward to getting this mounted. The other reason I went for this rim is that most cars, most GT cars that I've looked at, when you look at things in the Assetto Corsa and iRacing and the kind of cars that they race, the display is directly behind on the car itself here, and the wheels got this open section at the top so you can see the display. So that's why I went with that for my GT wheels, so that I can have the display in the background, and then have the gap to look through. Hopefully that'll just add to the immersion a little bit. So yeah, that's it. There's not much else to say on this because I can't bolt them together until my adapter plate comes. It's somewhere in transit at the moment. So yeah, that's really all to say on the wheel and wheelbase. And yeah, I will fill you in on how it all goes together once I get the bits to put it together. But for now, I'm going to start working on the chassis. There are a few extra bits and pieces I want to put together for a different video. So yeah, that's the wheel and wheelbase, and I just can't wait to use them basically. Cheers guys, see you later. One more thing guys, remember how I was worried earlier on about the length of this hitting the tray that the computer sits on? Well, you probably spotted at the time, but of course I could mount it upside down so it goes up the way. I used to have this hanging down, but of course now it's up the way, so yeah. I think I saw a picture of it online mounted like that and I thought, oh, of course, the obvious solution, just mount it upside down. So there's tons of space. It's all good. It's finally here! This little thing has been stopping me from hooking everything together, but now we can get the steering system hooked up and drive some cars. No! As you can see, the wheelbase is not connected anymore. And why is that? Because it's back in the box. Because it didn't work. Oh, I was so looking forward to getting out in the car, but yeah, there seems to be some kind of connection issue, or some kind of issue anyway. So the steering wheel is back up here, and the steering column's there, and yeah, everything's not been connected yet because the wheelbase doesn't work. But I have been in contact with Granite Devices, the guys who make the Simucube product, and we've tried a few things. I've tried connecting it to a different computer. We've tried a few things remotely on being able to recalibrate it, etc. But yeah, nothing worked. So unfortunately, it is currently waiting to be collected by the courier and sent back to base for a warranty repair, which is frustrating. But it is what it is. So anyway, that's the end of this video as far as it goes. I'm busying myself with other bits and pieces on the rig, so yeah, I'll maybe make a little video about all the little bits that I've been doing while I wait for this to be picked up and repaired. Oh well.